Find what works for you and practice every single day. Put in the work every single day, and eventually it will pay off. So I've just seen the comment, what about oil? I don't actually trade oil myself. I trade Forex, and these are so I trade GBP USD, Euro USD, Euro JPY, NZD USD, and AUD USD. They're the pairs that I trade. Because I think that if you trade too many things, you can't actually learn about those pairs. Like from the trading that I do, it's better to be an expert in 1 or 2 and be good at 5 or 6 maybe, than be average at 20. Because I see a lot of traders that have every single Forex pair, and then commodities and stocks, and excuse me, it's not good for actually learning how to trade, because you're doing too many things. So when you're actually trading, limit yourself to how much you can actually trade, because that way you become an expert, and the experts get paid more than average people. That's just how it works. So if you become an expert in oil, let's say, you will be an expert in making money consistently on oil. Now I'm sure that I know for a fact there's lots of gold traders, there's lots of oil traders, and there's not many traders that I know personally that are experts in 1 or 2 currencies, and I think that that's something that a lot of new traders should do. Now I don't know how long you guys have been trading, of course, but if you're new to trading, and I see new to trading pretty much anything less than 2 years, just stick to 1 or maybe 3, maximum of 3 currency pairs or stocks or commodities, and just trade them every single day and backtest every single day on those pairs or commodities, and just learn as much as you can about those specific things, because the more you learn about a specific thing, the better you'll be at it. And considering that there's a lot of numbers thrown around, but considering that 95 to 98% of retail traders lose money, why continue doing what everyone else is doing? You need to be doing the opposite of what everyone else is doing, or what the majority of traders are doing. And what are the majority of traders doing? They're trading 15 different things, they're searching for the magic strategy online, and they're not actually sitting in front of the charts, testing, backtesting, learning, and sticking to their own strategy and learning how to trade their own strategy better. I'm not saying that you need one strategy to be successful, you can have multiple strategies, but find the strategy that you like and just stick with it and just trade it so that you learn how to actually trade it profitably. Learn, if you take 100 trades, what's the percentage of you being profitable? Now I'm sure that there's not many new traders that are going to know the answer to that, but I don't see why, because if you're willing to put money into the markets, and I'm sure that there's lots and lots of traders, 99% of traders, wanting to do this to make money, and they're not doing it because they get fun out of it, although it can be fun, but they're trading to actually make money, is what I'm trying to say. You need to actually put the time into develop your own strategy to where you understand it 100%, and you understand the ins and outs of every single bit of your strategy, and stop moving around to different strategies, because it's just not going to help you. Find the strategy that you like and just stick with it, and just learn every single thing you can about that strategy. So how does your strategy compare to GBP USD versus Euro USD? Which one's more profitable? What about Euro JPY against AUD USD? What kind of what should you be looking for on each of those pairs, currency pairs, compared to the other, using the same strategy? Because different currency pairs move in different ways. Now, they might correlate in some way, but one might move slower than the other, one might consolidate more than the other, one might follow the other one. Now, if you learn about a few things really, really well, it gives you a stronger chance to be in that top 5% or top 2% of traders that are actually making money. And when you get to the point where you can make consistent money, you can reach out to investors, and instead of making, I don't know, a couple £100, a couple thousand, you could be making 10 or 20k every single month, because you're trading 100 or 200, maybe even £1 million account, depending on where you go. I know that there's a lot of prop firms that offer traders 100k, and if you're making 5-10% a month, which is very, very good, but if you're making in between that kind of range of 5 to 10% a month, you're making very, very good money, and you've done it by putting in the work. And you're not going to be able to get to the point where you can make that kind of money without putting in the work. Like, there's no shortcuts in Forex trading or trading in general. You need to put in the work, and you need to sit down and learn. That's just kind of how it is. You get paid to learn, pretty much, and you get paid to be disciplined and patient and follow your strategy. And you don't get paid to be in, well, I suppose you might, but you don't get paid to be in communities, and you don't get paid to flash Lamborghinis or Rolexes or whatever things you can buy with Forex. You don't get paid for that. You get paid by sitting down and trading the markets consistently. And you're only going to get that by putting the work in. So find what works for you and practice every single day. Put in the work every single day, and eventually it will pay off. And it might be 5 years, it might be 10 years. Depending on how much work you put in, and depending on how disciplined you are, you'll get different results. Now, there's a lot of new traders that come into the markets where they're expecting to just make money instantly, because they're doing what I'm doing right now, and they go back in hindsight and they find the perfect trades where they're going to make £20,000 on a trade on a £1,000 account. And it's just not worth it. Just stick to your own thing, stick to your own strategy, and eventually you'll become profitable. And especially if you actually put the work in, because most traders don't put the work in. If you can learn how to be profitable in trading, then it's something that can give you a good income and the lifestyle that most people want. So if you're trading the daily charts, for example, you might be trading for 30 an hour every single day, and you could be making 6 figures a month. Now, I mean, that's obviously a perfect situation for a lot of people, and that's obviously the dream for a lot of people. But the thing is, if you work at it and you stick with it and you learn, then you can get to that. And especially if you do something like FTMO or 5%ers or one of the other prop firms, and you pass one of their challenges and you trade your strategy every single day consistently, you can get funded accounts from these guys, from these prop firms, and make good money. You don't need to be funding the account yourself. There's people out there that will fund the account for you, and you just split the money. And obviously you're not going to be getting 100% of the gains, but you're not risking any of your capital. So it's something that a lot of new traders don't think about when they should. Because obviously having none of your capital at risk, but being able to make money consistently through a prop firm or a private investor is something that a lot of traders aspire to do. And do I trade for a prop firm? No, I don't. At the moment I just trade for myself, but it is something that I'm looking at in the future. I know quite a few guys that trade for a prop firm. I also know quite a few guys that trade for investors, as in private investors. And if you're trading for private investors, obviously there's a lot more legal things that you have to go through, but you've got access to more capital. A lot of the well-known prop firms, in terms of FTMO, 5%ers, you have to trade by their rules, and you have to trade their capital. So you couldn't go to, well, I don't know, you might be able to, I don't trade for them, but I can't imagine that you'd be able to go to them and just ask for more capital, because that's not something that they would do. I don't know if that is correct or not, but if you trade for a private investor, it's something that you would be able to do. You could go to them and say, look, I've got these results for you, and I'm confident in the strategy. I hope that you've seen that the strategy works and it's profitable. How would you feel about giving more money? And you can slowly build up your capital to where you're trading a few million or whatever capital that person's willing to give you. You can trade that and you can build it up, compared to where the prop firm, you're most likely not going to get more capital from them. So if you are trading your own funds but you are profitable, have a look at a prop firm, and it's a good way to get a large amount of capital that can also feed off into private investors. Because if you trade for a prop firm successfully, you could go to an investor and just say, look, I've traded this with this prop firm for a year, 2 years, here are the results, this is how much I've made, and see if they're willing to give you some of their money. And of course you're probably going to get a lot of no's, but I'm sure there's going to be one investor out there that's going to say yes, and when they do say yes, they might give you a few million to trade. And going from a regular retail trader that trades 5, 10, 20k, 50k, whatever, but then jumping to 100k for a prop firm, and then jumping to a million, 5 million for private investors, it's very good, because you're not only are you gaining experience and you're gaining contacts, but you're gaining the life experience of actually dealing with large amounts of capital. And if you're trading for investors, you need to have almost like a business plan. So not only are you going to have a trading plan, but you're going to have a business plan for them. And once you start getting in the realm of business and large amounts of capital, you start to develop that mindset of you can do most things in terms of business, and you're going to develop the contacts, you're going to develop the business mind that can lead on to other things, and all of that has just come from you deciding that you want to put the time into learning how to trade and putting the time into actually developing a plan and trading the plan, backtesting the plan, and creating a profitable record, or a profitable, track record that you can show to investors to get capital. I mean, this live stream's gone a bit off track, but yeah, it's good to have a chat and see what's going on. I mean, we're only on GBP USD. There's still 4 more currencies to go through, so we'll see what happens.